Have you ever wondered how a man of humble beginnings could change the course of history? Our narrative today revolves around such a man, Napoleon Bonaparte, a figure so remarkable that his story is etched into the annals of time. Born into a family of minor Corsican nobility, Napoleon's journey from obscurity to the pinnacle of power is an epic tale of ambition, strategy, and indomitable will. His meteoric rise to power, his reign that reshaped Europe, and his ultimate downfall all make for a rich tapestry of human endeavor and fallibility. Napoleon was not just a man, he was an era, a force that shifted the tectonic plates of history, leaving an indelible mark on the world. His story is filled with battles and victories, triumphs and tragedies. It's a tale of love and loss, of power and hubris, of a man who dared to dream big and paid the price for it. Now let's dive in and discover the extraordinary journey of Napoleon Bonaparte. Born on a small island, no one could have predicted the destiny that awaited Napoleon Bonaparte. In the late 18th century, on the rocky island of Corsica, nestled in the Mediterranean Sea, was born a child named Napoleon Bonaparte. His family of minor Italian nobility had been living in Corsica since the 16th century. At the time of Napoleon's birth, however, Corsica had just been sold to France by the Republic of Genoa. This event marked the start of a lifelong, complex relationship between Napoleon and his French identity. At the tender age of 9, Napoleon was sent to mainland France for his education. It was in the chilly halls of the autumn, and then the prestigious military academy in Brienne-le-Château, that the young Corsican began to shape his future. Despite being teased for his Corsican accent and the modest social standing of his family, Napoleon proved himself an exceptional student, particularly in mathematics and history. He developed a passion for the classic heroes of history, often losing himself in the tales of Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar. After Brienne, Napoleon moved to the École Militaire in Paris, the finest military academy in France. Here he honed his military skills and knowledge, graduating at the age of 16, a year early, due to the sudden death of his father. It was here that the seeds of military strategy and ambition were firmly planted within him. These early years in mainland France were crucial in shaping the character and ambitions of Napoleon. He learned to navigate the complex social and political landscapes, honed his intellectual prowess, and developed an unyielding resolve to succeed. He may have been born on a small island, but his dreams and aspirations were anything but small. The young Corsican boy, who was often teased for his accent, would grow up to become one of the most influential and feared leaders of the world. His story is a testament to the power of ambition, the pursuit of knowledge, and the relentless determination to rise above one's circumstances. These formative years were just the beginning of an incredible journey for Napoleon Bonaparte. With the French Revolution, a new era dawned, and with it came an unexpected opportunity for Napoleon. As the revolution raged on in the late 18th century, Napoleon Bonaparte, a young artillery officer, found himself in the thick of it. The revolution had brought chaos, yes, but it had also brought opportunity. Napoleon, with his keen mind and military prowess, seized this opportunity with both hands. After distinguishing himself at the siege of Toulon, Napoleon quickly climbed the ranks of the French military. He became a national hero, a beacon of hope in a country gripped by fear and uncertainty. But Napoleon wasn't content with just being a military hero. He had grander ambitions. In 1799, a political coup known as the Coup of 18 Brumaire catapulted Napoleon to the forefront of French politics. He ousted the Directorate, the governing body of France at the time, and replaced it with the Consulate. Napoleon declared himself the first consul, effectively making him the leader of France. But what was the Consulate, and what did it mean for France? The Consulate was a new form of government that Napoleon established to bring stability to a country that had been in turmoil for a decade. It was a political system that was neither monarchy nor republic, but something in between. As first consul, Napoleon began implementing a series of reforms that would shape the future of France. He restructured the French legal system, introduced the Napoleonic Code, and reformed the education system. He also forged alliances, expanded French territories, and established France as a dominant force in Europe. Napoleon's rise to power wasn't without its challenges. He faced opposition both from within France and from other European powers. But through it all, he remained steadfast, confident in his vision for a stronger, more unified France. The French Revolution had created a platform for Napoleon, and he was quick to seize it. Napoleon Bonaparte, once a young artillery officer, had risen to become one of the most powerful figures in French history, all against the backdrop of one of the most tumultuous periods in European history. His rise marked the beginning of a new chapter in the story of France, a chapter that would be defined by his leadership, his reforms, and his indomitable spirit. Napoleon Bonaparte, the self-proclaimed emperor, had now reached the zenith of his power. With the crown sitting firmly on his head, Napoleon ushered in an era of reform and revolution. His rule, often termed as the Napoleonic Era, was marked by sweeping changes across France. Napoleon, a man of vision, introduced the Napoleonic Code, a legal framework that served as the bedrock of many civil law jurisdictions worldwide. His focus was not limited to legal reforms. He revolutionized the education system, infrastructure, and administration, breathing new life into the French nation. But Napoleon's ambitions were not confined to the borders of France. He turned his gaze towards the rest of Europe, embarking on a series of military campaigns known as the Napoleonic Wars. These wars were characterized by swift, decisive victories, showcasing Napoleon's military genius and changing the face of warfare forever. From the sun-drenched lands of Egypt to the icy plains of Russia, Napoleon's armies marched, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of history. Yet Napoleon's reign was not without its share of challenges. His continental system, aimed at crippling Britain, backfired, leading to economic hardships and stirring discontent among the masses. Additionally, his military campaigns, while successful initially, eventually stretched his forces thin and sowed the seeds of his downfall. Nevertheless, the impact of Napoleon's rule was far-reaching. His reforms transformed France into a modern nation, and his military strategies continue to be studied in war colleges around the world today. Napoleon was not just a ruler, he was an icon, a symbol of power and ambition, whose influence extended far beyond the confines of his empire. Yet, as history has shown us, power is often fleeting. The sun began to set on the empire of Napoleon Bonaparte. As the might of his empire expanded, so too did the number of his enemies. The combined forces of Britain, Prussia, Russia, and Austria rose against him, marking the beginning of his downfall. Napoleon's ambition, once his driving force, started to betray him. His disastrous invasion of Russia in 1812 was a turning point. The harsh Russian winter claimed the lives of more than 500,000 of his men, a devastating loss from which his grand army never fully recovered. Following his defeat at the Battle of Leipzig in 1813, Napoleon was exiled to the island of Elba. But the fire within him was not extinguished. In a daring move, he escaped and returned to power in France for a brief period known as the 100 Days. However, his triumph was short-lived. After a crushing defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815, he was exiled once again, this time to the remote island of St. Helena, where he would spend the last 6 years of his life. Napoleon Bonaparte passed away on May 5, 1821, but his influence did not die with him. His legacy is a complex tapestry of military genius, administrative reform, and imperial ambition. He revolutionized military organization and training, sponsored the Napoleonic Code, and restructured education. He left France and the world with a lasting legacy, shaping the course of history like few before him. His downfall serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the inevitable ebb and flow of power. Yet it is his enduring legacy that stands as a testament to his extraordinary life. From a minor noble in Corsica to an emperor who commanded an empire, Napoleon Bonaparte's story is one of ambition, power, downfall, and enduring influence. And so the extraordinary journey of Napoleon Bonaparte came to an end, leaving behind a legacy that continues to echo through the ages. Napoleon Bonaparte, a name etched in the annals of history. From modest beginnings on the island of Corsica, his journey led him to the throne of France, forever altering the course of European history. A military genius, his strategic prowess remains unmatched. His Napoleonic Code, a blueprint for modern law. Yet his life was not merely a tale of triumphs. Napoleon's ambition saw him rise to extraordinary heights, but it also paved the way for his downfall. His lust for power led him to make grave miscalculations, culminating in the catastrophic Russian campaign and his eventual exile. Despite his downfall, Napoleon's legacy endures. His impact on France and Europe continues to echo through the ages. His life, a parable of power and ambition, victory and defeat, has left an indelible imprint on the fabric of history. A testament to the power of ambition and the fragility of power, the story of Napoleon Bonaparte serves as a reminder that history is often shaped by the actions of a single individual.